Benvenuto, welcome to Cherry Hill Home Cooking. My name is Mark. Today we're going to make slow cooked pulled pork. With cookout season finally upon us, and so many of us being able to get together with family and friends once again, I thought I'd show you one of my favorite recipes, my family's favorite, and everybody else has had it, seems to enjoy it. I make this often for our own cookouts or on a potluck cookout. As you know, pulled pork is very popular. You can use pulled pork for so many different things. You can eat it on your own. You can use it as a side dish. Anyway, we'll go over a little bit more about that. But what we're going to need for our pulled pork today is, main ingredient, of course, is pork. So this is a pork shoulder. Now, I usually like to get one bone-in pork shoulder as close to 7 pounds as I can get. Couldn't get that today, so I had to get two just slightly over 3 pounds boned pork shoulder. Either one of them is going to be delicious. I think the one with the bone gives it a little bit more flavor. But anyway, we're going to make do with what we got. And you're going to need a dry rub. Okay, so this is a dry rub that I've just kind of played with over the years and settled on. I love this with pork. So for the dry rub, you're going to need some paprika. Just regular paprika. You could use smoked sweet paprika. I use just the regular paprika for this. You're going to need some ground ginger, some ground cumin. Going to need salt and pepper, and brown sugar. I didn't bring the brown sugar thing up. I've already got it mixed in, but you need 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. You can use light or dark. I'm using dark today because the light brown sugar I had was, it wasn't open. I didn't want to open it. So then, of course, with that, we're going to need a little bit of liquid. So for the liquid, we're going to need some vegetable stock, or vegetable broth, I should say. Vegetable broth. This is, I found these in the supermarket today. It comes in 4 little 1-cup containers, which is kind of really nice because that way you don't have to open up a whole bottle and then, if you're not going to use it, have it sitting in your refrigerator. Although it is twice as expensive, I found out when I got to the register. But anyway, then we're going to need some apple juice, and that's regular apple juice. I love apple juice. The apple juice, that you'd give to little kids. We're going to need about 1/2 cup of that. And then we need some liquid smoke. Liquid smoke is something people used to use a long time ago. You don't see it used all that much in recipes. Anyway, what this is going to do is this is going to give us that smoky flavor that, of course, you would usually get if you did it, the pulled pork on a grill or a smoker. And then we're going to need some vegetables to kind of enhance the flavor. We need 1 medium-sized onion. You can use any type of onion you want, yellow, white, red. I had Vidalia onions, so that's what I'm using is a Vidalia onion. Going to need 3 celery sticks, and you need 1 carrot. The supermarket that I go to quite often has a section where you can buy celery and carrots in bulk. You don't have to buy a whole package. A lot of times I'm not going to use a whole pound or 2 pounds of carrots, but they didn't have the carrots today. But I was able to get the bulk celery. So I got my 3 celery sticks. So I had some shredded carrots, so I thought, okay, I'll use that. So that's probably about 1/4 cup of shredded carrots. Then you're going to need 4 nice cloves of garlic. And of course, well, the main thing you need is a crock pot. For this recipe, you're going to need at least a 5-quart crock pot, even a little bit bigger if possible. And that's all the ingredients. So let's get cooking. All right, we're gonna finish up chopping up our vegetables. We've all done this together a lot, but anyway, I just thought I'd go through the motions. So you're just rough chopping these. You don't have to be perfect with them. These are gonna bring some nice flavor to our sauce. When we finish this up after it cooks, I'm actually gonna strain the vegetables out. You don't have to if you don't want to. At that point, they've done their job. I don't think they're needed anymore, but you can leave them in there if you so chose. So again, just rough chop our onion. Yep, you guessed it. That's Sheldon. I don't know if you can hear him. Sorry, I can't catch it right. All I can think about it is meow. All right, and then we got our, I've already kind of crushed those. We've got our clove of garlic. You've all seen that. Take your knife, kind of make sure you don't have your sharp end pointed at you, and give it a good smash. And your skin should just peel off nicely. All right, and then we could just give this a quick rough chop. That's good enough. Like I said, I'm going to strain that out anyway. Then we're going to get our vegetables in our pot, into the crock pot. I don't know where my scraper is, but I do have one of those things to pick those up. Give them a little bit of a mix around in there. Yeah, you can move them off to the side a little bit, but that's not going to really make that much of a difference. All right, I'm going to move this cutting board aside and go to our meat. Okay, so I've already kind of trimmed this one. If you've got a lot of surface fat on it, you can go ahead and trim that off. You don't have to if you want to, but there's quite a bit of fat in here anyway. So if you kind of you can see where the fat line is. If you kind of get your knife in there, being really careful, grab a hold of it, and then just kind of move your knife up along like that. See, we're just kind of skimming along the meat side. See that? We're taking off very little of the actual meat. All right, put that there for now, I think. Of course, I never use my wooden cutting board to cut meat on. Some people use one side for vegetables and the other side for meat. I've never done that, but cut off that little piece there. And I could be using my sharper knife, but I didn't want to contaminate them with the one that I used for the veggies. But anyway, that worked out pretty good. All right, so I did cut this one in half because I want to get these all nicely coated. Of course, if there's the bone-in one, I don't cut it in half. I'm going to cut this one in half too, so that when we put our rub on there, they're all nice and coated. All righty, that's that. Gonna give my hands a wash. just because I'm going to move the bowl and I don't want to contaminate everything, even though I'm going to get my hands in the meat again. All right, so we got our nice dry rub. I'm going to give my hands one more rinse. So we got our nice meat. Now I find that if I do this in a big bowl, it works wonderful. I did pat dry this, so I've patted this all down before I started to cut it up. So we can throw those in there. Do them a couple at a time. Get our rub in there. And just get that nice and rubbed in as well as you can on all sides. Yeah, you know, you can use your own if you have a particular dry rub that you like, whether you mix it up yourself or you buy a commercial one. This is one I've, like I said, I've just kind of played around with over the years, and I think this works really well with pork, and this works well with any kind of pork that you're going to dry rub. Just like I said, just try to get it thoroughly coated and rubbed in there. You can smell the cumin and the ginger. It smells delicious. All right, that's good. Put our first piece in there. And our second one. All right, let's get our other two in. Get our rub going. You might want to do a little bit. Might want to do a double batch of the dry rub if you have 4 pieces like this. I did a batch and a half of it, which seems to be enough. So typically, the recipe for the dry rub really coats a 6 or 7 pound bone in really well. All right, that's all there is to it. Let's get this one in there. Now, if possible, I'd like to get them so I didn't have to put one on top of the other, but I don't think I'm going to accomplish that with having to do it that way. Let's put the rest of our rub in there. All right, I'm going to wash my hands, and we'll be back to finish up. Okay, guys, we got all of our meat. So remember, we've got our veggies on the bottom. We've got our meat on top of that. All right, and the last step is we've got our 4 tablespoons of liquid smoke. We've got our vegetable broth and our apple juice. And give it a little stir. All right, and kind of try to drizzle this around the sides. Again, if there was one roast in there, it'd be a little bit easier. I just don't want to take all that dry rub off the top. Now, you don't want the meat to be fully covered. You only want it to be kind of maybe half covered, about halfway at the most. Which that's going to be just about right, because I've got so much stuffed in there. Okay, so we've got that in. Our next step is put our cover nice and tightly on the crock pot, and we're going to let this cook anywhere between 7-9 hours. We're actually going to let this go overnight, so I'm going to set this for I'm going to set it for 9 hours. I'll get up before that 9th hour and kind of check on it, but on low. So 7 to 9 hours on low. Typically, if you use a bone in, it cooks a little bit faster. So usually it's 7 hours is perfect on that. Without the bone, it's going to take a little bit longer. So I think this is going to need about 8 hours. So, okay, a low, 8 hours. You could do it on high for say 5 to 7 hours. I tried it on high. I like the way it comes out better on low. It just comes seems to be a little bit more tender. All right, so we're going to get this plugged in, set the timer for 10 hours, and we'll see you when it's done. Good morning. Okay, our pulled pork has cooked in the crock pot slow cooker overnight for about 8 hours. I then put it on to warm, and it's been sitting on the counter on warm for about an hour and a half. But you want to let it go for 8 hours. All right. As you can see, there's quite a bit of fat that has come up to the top. I'm going to remove some of that. You don't absolutely have to do it, but sometimes the bone out tends to be a little bit fattier, I think. So I'm going to skim off some of that extra fat that's come up on top, just so that our final result of our sauce isn't that fatty. So it's really simple, just skimming it off. And I'm doing it now before I take the meat out because I don't want to disturb it all that much, because then the fat will get back into the sauce. And you do want a little bit in there for that nice mouthfeel. As you can see, we got quite a bit of fat out of there. And that's hot. All right, so what I'm going to do is remove the meat to the bowl. I'm going to shred it in. See, we got a nice crust on the top from all that nice rub. Ooh, it's so tender and delicious, it's falling apart, which is what you want. A nice piece of meat right there. I think this is mostly fat. Take off that. There we go. That's a lot of fat in there too, but there's a nice piece of meat, but I'll pick that out later. And that's mostly fat. All right, I think I'm going to need another bowl. A bigger one would have been better, but all right, so now I'm going to strain out the vegetables. You don't have to do that. If you want to leave the vegetables in, you're certainly welcome to, of course, depending upon your preference. It's going to get a few in there anyway, I'm sure, but the vegetables have added their flavor to the broth. Okay, so that's that. I've removed most of the big pieces. All right, I'm going to put this aside for now. Then we're going to take our pork and we're just going to shred it. So probably what I find is the easiest method is just take a couple forks and pull it apart. Look at that, how nice it pulls apart. And of course, depending upon how you want to use it or how you like it, you can use this, leave it as chunky as you'd like, or shred it up. I like it kind of fairly well shredded for the purposes that we're going to use it for. And again, you can basically use this for anything. You can use this as, you know, the main course along with a salad or potato salad or macaroni salad or rice. This over some rice would be delicious. If you're using it, doing it at a cookout or a barbecue or bring along, then I would just do this and bring it in, and then people can use it as the way they like. Fry up some hamburgers on the grill and put a dollop of this on top would be delicious, or a hot dog, or just about anything. You see, we got it pretty well shredded. There's a few little big pieces here and there. Somebody will get a nice big surprise. All right, now at this point too, if you want to make this barbecue, put some of your favorite barbecue sauce in there, depending upon how saucy you like it, or if you want it a little bit drier. There's still a lot of moisture from the cooking liquids in there. Be right back. This one right now, I'm going to finish with a little bit of our cooking liquid. That's good. Now today we're going to have this, it's morning, so we're going to have this with some scrambled eggs. But there you go. Pulled pork. Slow cooked pulled pork. Okay, it's time for breakfast. Like I said, we were going to have our pulled pork this morning, at least our first enjoyment of it, with some scrambled eggs. Again, if you like some barbecue sauce on yours, you can use your favorite barbecue sauce. I'm going to put just a little dollop. Mix it in together. Alrighty, you want some?
Yeah, I want some.
If it tastes half as good as it smells, which it always does, as I said, it was cooking overnight. Woke up a couple times. There's the phone. Woke up a couple times and wanted to come into the kitchen and just eat it all up. But anyway, all right, let's give it a taste. Taste the pulled pork itself first.
Of course, this thing's been cooking all night. It's just smelling so nice all night. That's so good.
Pretty good, darn good.
Wow.
Like I said, you can enjoy this in, thank you. You can enjoy this in any way that you'd like. A little egg on there and some barbecue sauce. And my scrambled eggs are pretty awesome as well.
Really good.
Well, we hope that you guys enjoyed making this with us. I hope you make it, give it a try, pulled pork made overnight in the crock pot or during the day. I don't have the knowledge or the smoker to make it on the grill, but I like it this way just as well. Thank you for watching.
Thank you. Like, subscribe, and visit us at cherryhillhomecooking.com.
I don't know if anybody's noticed, but he's just done a brand new website for Cherry Hill, cherryhillhomecooking.com. So please check it out and look at all ways how to work.
Simple website.
Oh, well, he's pretty
Better than it was before.
Let us know what you think. Ciao.
Bye. That is really good. I love the barbecue sauce.
Delicious. Pulled pork, take 3. Benvenuto, welcome to Cherry Hill Home Cooking. My name is